So recently in America, we witnessed two loudmouth narcissists throw shit at each other until one inevitably gave up. Not dissimilar to the game of Smite. The only difference is that in Smite, once you hit level 5, then you can really get into the game when you get your first point in your ultimate ability. The ultimate is basically the coup de grace of the gods kit. Stack that shit up to level 5 and you have yourself one hell of a scary ability. Whether it be an execute, a world ability, or it crashes your game, they all have something to them. This list will rank them based on their damage, their flashiness, potential in team fights, and of course, personal interests for me. This is a personal list and by no means should be taken as a competitive assessment of Smite Ultimate. But hey, who gives a fuck, man? Let's roll! Shit falling out of the sky can be scary, whether it be pianos, spiders, or large Nordic men and blind Greeks. So I'm throwing Thanatos' ultimate, Hovering Death, and Thor's ultimate, Anvil of Dawn, in the same place because they're very similar. They both stun, and they both combo into other parts of their kits very well. While Thor is arguably the better assassin and can put more into a team fight with his ult and 2 combo, Thanatos gets bonus points because he can just lay the fuck into whoever he wants is below the threshold, and then get a shit ton of health back. Really, it's whatever you prefer, utility or flashiness. And hell, both of them suit me just fine. Having beetles and cockroaches on this planet is something that no one benefits from. They're a vile excuse for matter, and should be annihilated promptly. However, in the realm of Smite, having a certain beetle on your team isn't that bad for one reason. Scarab's Blessing. Khepri's ultimate is unique in the sense of it being the only ultimate in the game to bring yourself or another teammate back from the dead, and can be popped on teammates when they are near death, and it will not only revive them when they receive a killing blow, but also brings them back to Khepri, however far away he is located. But it also gives the applied god a boost in movement speed and immunity to slows, something that is great for getting them out of a sticky situation or even chasing the enemy down. It can also be used as a great play for tower diving and jungle chasing. If only he didn't have to play as nature's finest fuck-up. Flashiness is very important to the ultimate abilities on this list. First of all, you gotta look like a badass when you're running in with your most powerful ability active. And there is some benefit in intimidation from a flashy ult. I mean, I don't know how many times you've seen a giant baby in real life, but if I did, I'd be out of there faster than Jamal's dad during his childhood. But one of the flashiest things you can add to an ability has to be fire, and Smite has its own little gender-confused boy for that. Wind Fire Wheels is one of my favorite ultimates because of a few reasons. First of all, there's a certain satisfaction that comes with hitting a full-length ult with Neja just for kicks. Like, you know you can chain the artillery sash with the Wind Fire Wheels, but you need the extra slap in the face to really give it to the enemy. The interesting thing about Windfire Wheels is that after you successfully hit it, it sends you into a quick time event where you auto-attack at certain points to hit crits for extra damage on the ult, making it pretty unique amongst the other abilities in the game. Plus, it really helps in team fights because if it hits, it effectively takes one of the enemy gods completely out of the fight, and when Neja lands, it deals damage to those around them. So for numerous reasons, Neja's ult is one of my favorites, and come on, who can resist that sweet cross-lane ult? Gotcha. Invulnerability can be cheap as hell. It allows you to be impenetrable and walk amongst the enemy with no fears. So stack that on top of a god who is already nearly unstoppable, and you get some Hindu shredding game design. Kali's ult, Destruction, renders her completely immune to dying while it's active. But it also creates an aura around her causing damage every half of a second, and it can last up to 5 seconds. In this time of the Kali player's experience, they can normally take out their target and regain most of their health. If not, then they will be treated to a nice 15% health if they drop below the threshold. This also means that as Kali, you can just jump into their team, hit 4, and what the hell are they gonna do about it? You know, there's also just a certain enjoyment of being able to sit there and say, "Deal with it, bitch!" Anybody who has played Smite has been caught in a situation of poor positioning. Maybe you've been caught taking the enemy's back camps, and then you get completely screwed. Well, do we have the solution for you? Janice! See, all you've got to do in a situation like this is drop a portal on a wall and you're out of there. But only one person can go through the portal. So what if you need to get an entire team through it? Well, That's right, good old Anus with a J in front of it can just hit 4, and then he and his team have a one-way fuck train right into the enemy's Titan. See, it's like his one, just a whole lot bigger. You can go through walls, structures, and enemies. Need to relocate an entire team, or just misclicked out of spawn? It doesn't matter, either way you're getting somewhere fast and in style. You know, sometimes you make a bad call, you have a bad rotation, you get caught in the wrong place at the wrong time, and then you're left with an Anubis ult. And no health bar. Death Gaze is about all that it sounds. Anubis fucking looks at you, you're dead, that's pretty much it. It's over. If he hits you with Mummify and your beads are on CD, you don't really have a chance. But even if you do escape the Mummify in time, then you're probably gonna be confused as fuck with the laser light show going on right in front of your eyes.
Where the fuck am I?
I've already mentioned the benefit of an execution ability previously in this list. Just as life did to Lindsay Lohan's career, you get to end someone prematurely before they even hit 0. However, unlike most executes and Lindsay Lohan, Ao Kuang summons a dragon. King of the Eastern Seas is a little better in my opinion than most other executions because as soon as someone is executed, you gain a certain percentage of their health, but you also fully recharge your sword and can then splash down at some very far distances on the map. This landing also procures a decent amount of damage, and then you can immediately burn your abilities again because you have a fully charged sword. While Thanatos heals more from his ult and can stun multiple targets, Ao Kuang is more mobile in his and can chain kills more effectively. Also, Thanatos doesn't have a dragon.
Hey man, you wanna know how to be a cool guy, man? You know, sometimes you just gotta sip on that good, you know, man? You just gotta... Yeah, man, you know, it's
So Bacchus is not only one of my favorite gods, but he has one of my favorite ults. Intoxicated is about as interesting as you could imagine it to be. It's a giant explosion of purple liquids that results in its own special debuff of Intoxication, along with an insane amount of damage. Up to 550 damage plus 70% of your magical power is nuts for a Guardian. And with an added debuff that makes escaping very difficult, you're probably gonna be blackout drunk after this ult hits. The most amazing part of his ult is the speed at which it comes out. This hits within frames of activating, making it nearly impossible to predict. Hell, I never thought drunks should move that fast.
Little girls are the subject of a lot of scrutiny in popular media, whether it be them climbing through TV sets or getting roasted all the time. Who knows? Dogs, however, get a lot of the same treatment. I mean, look at old Yeller. All he wanted to do was play stickball, and then you went and shot him in the head. Look what you did, you monsters.
I Am a Monster is a beautiful ultimate for many reasons. First of all, this tiny girl pops off into a terror of the seas, and finally rears back and destroys anything in the immediate area that she chooses to hit. At its maximum, this ult can hit for 800 damage, plus 120% of her magical damage.
But wait, there's more!
If she manages to kill with her ult, which is very likely, she will then proceed to continue prowling around for a kill, and then can strike again.
You're gonna love my nuts.
This continues until she doesn't get a kill, which can make for some beautiful chain kills. She also becomes completely CC immune in her ult, and has double movement speed at level 5, making this one monstrous ultimate. But before we hit number 1, let's look at a few honorable mentions. Zhongqi's ult, Recall Demons. Chiron's ult, Centaurus. Calder's ult, Winter's Grasp. Athena's ult, Defender of Olympus. And Mercury's ult, Sonic Boom. There's always a huge surge of excitement that runs through you as you hit that F4 button to get that first skill point into your ult at level 5. You immediately have a leg up on the other team, and you can start to mess some people up because you are, in fact, God now. Which is exactly why all the switch stances are number 1. Nah, just kidding, it's the Kraken. The Kraken is a beautiful staple of Poseidon's kit because of the havoc it creates at level 5. Being able to not only do over 300 damage at level 5, but also stun for 1 second and slow makes this such a deadly ult. Dropping this into a team fight and hitting someone dead center with it can lead into a chain of your 3 to slow even more, then a 1 for more damage, and right into a 2 if you need to chase them. If they're not dead by this point, check to make sure your mouse is working, and that you're not fucking blind, because if played correctly, dropping this ult will almost always secure a kill at low levels. But on top of all the damage and status effects, this ult is just too flashy for words. I mean, it's a fucking Kraken that pops out of nowhere. Just look at this guy. Personally, I find this ult very useful, flashy, and just a ton of fun to throw out. Well, I don't really know how to end this video, so I'll just leave you with this. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching my video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you might enjoy some of my other Smite videos up on the screen right now. The one on the left is my first top 10 best odds in Smite, and the one on the right is my top 10 best odds in Season 2. If you're interested in anything happening in the future, the month of November will be fully dedicated to Pokemon, as I am doing my annual Pokemon month. I'll be making an announcement video for it, but I hope you guys tune in to check out the 4 consecutive weeks of countdowns. As always, my social media is on the screen and in the description, and I'll see you in the next video.